Come on, come on, come on in the room. All righty. Don't know if y'all gonna get it today. All right, welcome everyone. Welcome, Marion, Marlon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's get ready to do this. Welcome everyone. Let's go, let's go. Come on. We are going live now. Let's get them in. Come on in the room, come on in the room. Welcome everyone. We are going live. Let's see here. Yeah, we got that. And let's see. Come on. This one that I need right here. Okay. Welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Invite your people in the room. This is day 7. Day 7. Yes, we are live now. All right. And day 7 is happening. Mic check, mic check. Please let me know you can hear me. Oh, let's go over here and make sure we're connected. All right, all right, all right. Day 7 of the Holiday Harmony Sanctuary, Rise Above Emotions, right? As we are supporting you and making space for rewiring calm and confidence under your beautiful crown for this holiday season. For this holiday season. So drop, we having a vision reset today. So drop it. Oh, is it on? Good, okay. Drop vision in the chat. If you're ready, drop vision. We are clearing out all the trauma, all the other stuff, and making it plain so you can see the vision, feel the vision, be the vision, right? And allow it to come forth. Allow it to come forth. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Alicia, how are you, Golden Rose? Golden Rose, how are you? How are you? We're getting ready to get started. It's at the top of the hour. We are helping you to know how to transform the limiting beliefs during this holiday season so that you don't have to, you no longer choose to experience a lot of the drama and all the things that may stress you out during this time, whether it's the overwhelm, whether it's the boundaries that are being overstepped and you're feeling like you got to do everything and you can't get no rest till it's over. Okay, well, no more of that. You get to close out this fourth quarter. All right, you get to close out this fourth quarter with your emotional abundance, your peace to prosperity, knowing we talked about peace being the doorway to your prosperity. So you get a chance to transform all of that. So if it sounds interesting, if you're on TikTok, give me some hearts, tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen, and give us some thumbs up, Facebook and wherever else you're watching it. And we are going to get started because we are not going to be long, and we are going to do a recap too. All right, we're going to do a recap of the past 7 days of the clearings we've been doing, the breathing, the meditation, all the things, right, that is supporting us. Thank you for the hearts. That is supporting us to be able to show up differently for ourselves first and foremost, and then being able to, as we're engaging with our families and our friends and all the things during the holiday season and everything that's happening in the world, we no longer have to be as reactive, and we can know how to navigate through it. So drop rewire in the chat if you're ready to shift the patterns that used to trigger you. All right, I'm gonna drop it in the chat, because today your peace becomes your prosperity. All right, so let's take a moment and look at what we have done. All right, over the past 7 days. All right, so we open up, setting the tone of all the triggers that occur. I talked about me personally and what I'm experiencing this Christmas, which is a lot of firsts. It's going to be a lot of firsts for the rest of my life, because my mother passed away June 9th, 2025, and my father passed away July 23rd, 2024. So within 11 months of each other, I lost both my mother and my father. Okay. So first time, being without my mother during the holidays. And of course, there's some grief, sadness, and talked about some of the joy also, that I am now able to embody and experience and allow myself to be sad, but I don't allow it to stop me from moving forward. And when I don't want to do anything, I don't, right? So we want you to be able to know that that's okay for you to be able to do that, and you not have to worry about all the other stuff, right? All the other things, like what's not going to happen, what's not going to take place, and what you're missing out on. No, allow yourself that space. All right, so we talked about that. We even cleared some of the beliefs that you have around that we have around that, and we also talked about emotional neutrality, right? Setting healthy boundaries and taking back your power from the space, right? From being reactivated, right? When someone triggers you and you immediately react. Well, being able to allow your peace and allow your capacity of your emotional neutrality to be okay. And know that you don't have to always respond to everything. Because what we talked about was what happens in your body when you're always responding and reacting to things, right? Low vibration frequencies. And you're reacting to, and when we react to these low vibration frequencies, it compromises the internal functionality and the homeostasis of our body, right? The health of our body. And that's how we also can contribute to a lot of the dis-ease we have. And so this is not medical advice. This is for info edutainment purposes only, from my heart to yours, with providing you with information and insights of things you should consider, right? And be able to take a look at why you do what you do. So who am I? I'm Miss Felicia Muhammad, and I am committed to helping people know how to activate the body's ability to self-heal and shifting the literal shit, low vibration energy. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not cursing. I'm using that word to get your attention, right? To cause you to listen, to activate your listening, and support you in being able to know that when you change from the low vibration frequency energy and you now transform it, clear it, right? Be honest with yourself about it, then you're able to practice, raise your vibration, and now you're floating and you're in a rhythm that is self-healing inner talk. Because we talked to you about that every thought that you think is a protein, right? And it is, and you're always creating, whether you say it verbally, whether you say it out loud. I'm saying that a different way, so you'll be really clear what I'm talking about, or not, right? It is always, because this energy, you're always creating. So you want to, as I used to tell my students when I was teaching at the Jewel University, is that you want to think about what you think about, right? You want to think about what you think about. And so as we are giving you this recap, what's coming up for you? Put in the chat what's coming up for you. Is this resonating with you? You know, tap the screen, give me some hearts. Not give me some hearts, but make the what we discussed and helping you to know that when something resonates with you that someone is saying, you know, whether you write it down, whether you say it verbally, we've been doing some breathing exercises to help the brain to know, okay, yeah, I'm getting this, and locking it in, right? So that you will have that as some good muscle memory that is supporting you when the brain feels unsafe, or when there is an appearance of feeling unsafe. All right? So take a moment at this time to breathe, and I am going to as well. And make sure you have your water. And also, if you are driving, do not participate in any of these activities or operate heavy material while you're operating heavy material. Okay? So focus on your breath, and we're going to do a 3. What did we do yesterday? We did a 3, 4, 6 breath. And I'm going to drink some water, and make sure you have water, because it's important to stay hydrated. Because if you didn't know, you can die from hydration. Okay? All right. So focus on your breath. All right, so you can close your eyes or leave them open, because too often we are not aware of our breath and breathing, right? So I want you to inhale. We're going to inhale for 3. So inhale. We're going to hold for 4. And we're going to exhale on 6. We're going to do that 3 times. One more time. Inhale. Hold, exhale. Okay, inhale again. Hold, exhale. All right, and so we talked about on day, so we talked about boundaries, right? We talked about how your peace is your gift. On day 6, we talked about, day 6, we talked about, we were integrating, right? And we were beginning to help you to recognize that your peace is the doorway to your prosperity. I'm going to say it again. Your peace is the doorway to your prosperity. And I support you, and I encourage you, and I challenge you to prove it to yourself that it's not. All right, and I know I can in some ways already recognize that the imbalance that I'm having now. Thank you, cuz. My cousin's giving me some love. That some of the chaos and all the things that I've been doing in the hustle and bustle and the struggle for generating income, that ain't been my peace. And now where I am with being able to recognize and transform some of the same traumas and limiting beliefs, right? And patterns and ways of being that no longer serve me, and beliefs that no longer serve me, that struggling, that money has to be hard to come by and I gotta work so hard for it all the time. No, that's not the case. I'm not saying you don't. Notice I said all the time, okay? So there are some beliefs that we hold that really no longer serve us. And should we have the courage to shift it, right? And raise our, and tap into the power that the God of all that is gives us, right? Then we can test this out for ourselves and see what works for us, what beliefs serve us as we continue to mature, because what you did when you were 16, 21, 35 may not work for you if you're 40, 60, right? You may want to do something a little bit different and taking the wisdom from those things. So again, this tool supports you in being able, thank you for the heart. This tool gives you the capacity to be able to recalibrate. And so that's what day 7 is about, is a vision reset. All right. This is the day again where we turn our peace into prosperity and into a plan. As Jesus said and the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. Yes, well, we're doing that too. And we're supporting you to be able to know, because this is what we talked about. And we've talked about it every day, because it's a part of the demo, the live demo that you're able to experience for yourself. We've supported you in understanding that the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, we tend to get it twisted, because the conscious mind is not what controls everything. It's the subconscious mind. And how can we prove it in no limit of time, right? So you want to know how? So ask me how. I'm so glad you asked. So how we prove that is that, did you have to give your heart directions to beat this morning? Or even just a few minutes ago? Did you have to give the liver directives to tell it to do what it was created to do? No. Right? And so they can't see you. They can't see you. Being able to recognize that part, right? Yeah. Being able to recognize that this energy and this spark of life that the God has breathed into us, and this is whether you're atheist, whatever extreme you're on, okay, whatever extreme you're on, we honor where you are, all right, and support you in being able to recognize where you fit in, right, and knowing that it's all energy. It's all energy, and you're embodied, so it's no judgment here, okay? And so we recognize, yes, that the God of all that is supports us with this breath of life, and it is that spark that supports us in being able to animate the body, right? And so when we are, I was talking about the autonomic nervous system, when we are in tune with how to communicate with the autonomic nervous system, the subconscious, the other than conscious, right, that controls 99% of everything that we create, then you are taking responsibility for the power that you have been given over the temple, okay, over your body temple, all right? And your body temple ain't no joke either, right? Because if you overwork the body and it gives you signs and symbols to say, okay, now we need to take a rest. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. Or I need some water instead of Coke. Or I need some water instead of juice. Or coffee all the time. I need some water. Give me some water. The elixir of life. Give me water. And you don't do it, and your urine is liquid gold, your body is going to be shutting down on you, right? Because it's going to be like, I'm trying to help you. Help me help you. That's what your organ's saying. And I'm going all off on another tangent, okay? Because I just love talking about the body and the power that we have when we pay attention and connect to it. So back to the regular scheduled program, and I'm going to breathe myself because I feel myself not breathing and trying to get all this information into you in this recap for the last 7 days. So I'm going to breathe and give me some feedback in the chat. How's this resonating with you? You know, are you connecting with it? Does it make sense, right? So we've been given charge over the vessel, over this body temple, right? And the body does give us signs. Because God is a just God. You always get a sign. Always. All right? So when we are paying and so doing this type of work, right? So I've been, I know I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So I've been in health and wellness for over 30 years, right? So before it all became popular, you know, they thought we were the witch doctors, and because we dealt with the herbs and all that type of stuff, right? And helping people know how to do it naturally, not negating the allopathic doctors, because you can have it all. I'm just telling you, you can have it all. You really can. Purposefully. You can have it all purposefully, because everything has a purpose. And so over the last 30 years, we've seen a lot, right? And now all that we were doing is now so popular, and it's the end thing to do now. So thank you all for finally catching up. We appreciate you. And so now let's go to the next level. Let's take it even higher, right? So being for the last 17 years, since 2014, well, I've done many different types of modalities, okay? And what I am so grateful for this journey that God has had me on, because it's definitely been an answer to my prayer for my purpose and doing what I know I'm supposed to be doing at this particular dispensation of time to help myself and help others help themselves. And so when I was turned on to the technology of supporting you to know how to activate the body's ability to self-heal, it really is such a simple process that it can be taken for granted. And I'm personally on a mission to be able to help over 1,000 people know how to use this technology for themselves and to help those who know, love, like, and trust them, right? And so, what did it say? You are a little spooky in the best way. Thank you for staying on assignment. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being a part of the journey, you know. So being able to know how to support you in becoming, as we said at Jewel University, your body best friend, right? Where you and your body are best friends because you're paying attention to it, you're listening to it, you're giving it attention. You know, you're caring for it as it is, you know, caring for you. You're paying attention to the signs. When you have a little discomfort in a location, like, okay, body, this is what I do. Okay, body, what are you communicating to me? What should I be aware of? You know, and you'll be amazed at the responses that you get, whether it's from the body and or from another person, place, or thing that is around you because you asked the question. So inhale and exhale. So being able to know how to communicate with the body is your birthright. It's your birthright. And I'm grateful for being a steward of this technology and God showing it to me, because I was, you know, in a place financially where I was choosing to, and I was making choices to change what I was doing. I was a hairstylist and standing behind the chair 16 to 20 hours, you know, and I always incorporated the healing work in my practice. So when you sat in my chair, it was like going to a doctor's appointment, because I always wanted to be a doctor. All right. But me and the blood, that wasn't going to work. That wasn't going to work. We weren't going to get along. So I knew that I was going to always be, you know, have my own business and do the entrepreneurial thing. And so God took me another way to being a doctor. So I went to barber school and learned that barbers were the first ones to do bloodletting and write prescriptions. And we studied the anatomy, physiology, and then began to explore and study kinesiology, herbology, and all the ologies, right? And I kept asking God, am I supposed to go to school to get a degree and a doctorate and all that, be a doctor? It's like, nope, I got you, boo. I was like, well, okay. I believe you because you haven't failed me yet, right? And so this technology was blessed. I was blessed to come across this technology as I was deciding to come out from behind the chair and expand the healing arts. And so also due to that, what really triggered it was my income started decreasing because I had already started in 1995, helping people transition out of relaxers, right, to natural. So of course the income increased because they weren't coming every 2 weeks when they had a perm, right, or a relaxer. And so my income started dwindling, and I wanted to, of course, expand the service that I was doing so I can work smarter and didn't have to work so hard all the time. And so my income started decreasing, and so I was like, okay, what's next? And so I came across this program called Unleash Your Inner Millionaire. And my instructor of this technology is called Awakening Dynamics. His name is Brent Michael Phillips. And we are going to be, I'm a teacher. I'm certified in technology for the last, like I said, since 2014. And we are going to be, opening up certifications for level 1 because, like I said, I'm on a mission to help 1,000 people know how to do this for themselves. And it's really simple. It's really easy. And you'll see today some of the insights. You'll get a chance to have your own experience. So I came across the program, signed up for the program. We had the program, did the program with a whole bunch of clearings around money, just limited beliefs around money. And I'm going to be sharing this with you on Thursday for those of you that want to attend the webinar. Well, we're just going to go straight through just doing a whole bunch of clearings, around for the holidays and all the different beliefs, whether relationships, your health, your wealth. We're going to just be going in, and you're going to get more details as to how this works, right? And so after I did the class, my income increased by 20%. And I was like, yeah, okay, this is what I'm doing. Thank you. I am so grateful. This is what I'm doing. So I got certified and all the things. And now 14 years later, did the teacher's program so I can teach it, all of that. And so now I do support my teacher with Brent with teaching the classes and helping to certify people. So my goal is to certify at least 1,000 women and men. All right, but we have a lot of women that want to do it more than anything. So a lot of my clients are psychotherapists. And so I find that really interesting too. So being able to help you to know how to communicate with the body is not as complicated as people would want you to think it is, right? And so if it was, something you're not supposed to do, you wouldn't necessarily have it. Okay? So let's get back to my script here, okay? My talking points. So I'm saying all that to say that today, for those of you that stick around, and we're going to be doing that within the next 15 minutes or so, we're going to be, well, it's actually all throughout it. We're going to be showing you how this process works to support you with being able to, again, show up differently this year, right, in this fourth quarter of the year, to make the shifts in your relationships, your health, and your money. And we know money is the primary thing because of everything that's happening in the world, right? With the the government shutdown and the DEI with the 30,000 women that lost their jobs. And so it's a lot that's going on. And I got a secret for you. Everybody ain't struggling. Yeah, that pregnant pause is for a purpose. Everybody ain't struggling. So what makes you different from them? If they don't have to struggle, why do you think you got to struggle? Why do I think I have to struggle? Because we've been programmed to believe, and that's been a reality for a lot of us. It has been. It really has been. So I'm saying that there are some things that you may want to be open to and consider. Go pray about it, do whatever you got to do, make sure God, use your discernment and be like, okay, is this for me to do this? Is it time for this right now? Am I supposed to be doing this? Yeah, check in, do whatever you got to do, but you won't be able to say I didn't tell you. That's for sure. You won't be able to say I didn't tell you. So as we have been over the last 7 days dealing with the various ways that trauma shows up, the limiting beliefs, the being overwhelmed, thinking we got to do everything, right? And what about if you don't want to celebrate the holidays this year? You just want to chill. But you worried about people saying, what people going to think, what your family going to think. They're not going to, hear you saying no and make you have to do it, right? So at what point do you begin to take back your energy, right? And stop people pleasing and be able to live in our truth, whatever that is and how it looks, being able to live in our truth, right? So as I said, many of you know this is going to be my first holiday, without my mother. So, I'm having some different experiences relative to that. And I was talking to one of my clients and sister friends, business partner, that we're doing some coming together to build some ecosystem mergers so we can get more done together than we can by ourselves. She's really committed to those who commit suicide, because that was a part of her reality at one time. And so she's purposefully committed to helping them to be able to know that you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And so I want to be able to really to support her to be able to get that message out. Yeah, so we're coming together and we're closing ranks and joining arms to be able to make sure that we can get the message out for those who are ready to hear, right? And so as you are looking at the vision that you have for yourself this last quarter of the year, financially, in your relationships and with your health, right? As you are looking at that, because this is day 7 for the vision reset, I want you to begin thinking about, well, what are some of the things that keep happening over and over again that you're ready to have a different experience with? You are ready to show up different. You are ready to, we talked about the pruning process that happens in the brain when you change one negative thought, right? You got a negative thought or a negative experience. Oh, you're just like your mother. You're never going to amount to anything. You're just like your father. You're a bomb. You got that belief, and it keeps looping around, and that's what you continue to get. Well, at what point do you decide that ain't necessarily the truth? And even if it is, I can change. It's possible. I can change. And you know why change is possible and how you can prove it in no limited time? Because you're not the same person you were just a minute ago. You're always changing. Every 4 months, you get new blood cells. Every 120 days, you get a whole new set of blood cells. So you're always changing. So I want you to embrace that and begin to be the change that you want to see starting today. So begin thinking about those things that you want to shift, that you want to change, that you don't think is possible to change. And challenge me. Let's do it together. Let's show you how you can change it. Let's prove that you can change it. Right? And the change don't have to always be so difficult. Okay? So when we are talking about the neurons, right? That's what we were. Y'all thought I forgot. When we're talking about this pruning process, right? You got this thought that is, a negative thought, and it's been planted now. It's done sealed with the neurotransmitters. It's all sealed, right? And now you get another thought. You're like, oh no. You have an epiphany. You recognize that, oh, this doesn't have to be my reality anymore. This doesn't serve me anymore. So now you're like, okay, no, I am powerful. I am worthy. I am more than enough. So now, as you keep repeating that on replay and the loop, right? It starts to loosen. It starts to loosen. Oh, y'all can't see me over here. It starts to loosen. It starts to loosen, right? And then you keep repeating over, oh, I am more than enough. I am worthy. I can do this. And that's now the record that you're playing over and over again, where now this starts to loosen as now this one is starting to seal, right? And that's the pruning process. That's the pruning process where you're now able to change one old belief and the habits that go along with that. And yes, it can be a process just depending on how you think about it, how your environment is supportive of it, right? The choices that you make, right? So some things can be easier than others, all right? And so the key is you making the decision and decide. The Latin root for decide is discere, and it means to cut off. If you cut off those limiting beliefs that no longer serve you and replace it, and you're in an environment that supports you with, because when you change from that negative belief, trust and believe you're going to have some people who was riding that frequency with you. They're going to start falling away. Yeah, they will start falling away. So when you do this work, change does happen. The people that are not on the same frequency with you, as you start changing, oh yeah, they it's like magic. It's almost as if it's magic, because they just start falling away. And it don't have to be no drama. It don't have to be none of that. It's with grace and ease, because you're not on the same frequency anymore. You're raising your vibration. You're raising your frequency. You're raising your consciousness. And now you're on another frequency. All right? And so we did the breathing exercise. Okay, good. I'm just making sure I'm on track here. Let's see what comments we got coming in. It may feel like everything is falling apart. Right, it does. Yep. And, in a lot of cases, it is. And it's preparing you for something great. And I really encourage, my clients and people that I just add value to and support, to recognize and just be the observer. Don't judge it. Refrain from judging it, because for one, why you don't want to judge it? Because it's still in a process. If you still have life and breath flowing through your nostrils and blood coursing through your veins, don't judge it. Things can change. Okay? All right? So we talked about when you are now making these shifts, right? When you're shifting from having to be the one that's always doing everything, right? Now you're getting some help. You don't have to do everything. You now have to, and when you make all these changes that we just talked about and the people falling away, now you're like, well, who am I? Because you're not the same person who you used to be. So now you have a new identity. You have a new identity now because you're a different person, right? And you're showing up differently. So there's a renewal that's happening. You now identify as someone different. You don't identify as the person who you're not gonna be anything. you got low self-esteem, you worry about what people say, you're a people pleaser, you're not that person anymore. So you don't identify with that. So now you have a new identity. And when this goes back to the brain and what we were talking about, when you establish this new identity, you have old thoughts. And this was one of the analogies that I gave the other day. I think this was day 2. You have the old thoughts that are the dirt paths, and when you stop walking them, new growth is covered, right? New growth pops up, right, and covers that path, right? And so depending on now what this new growth is, we're talking about your new identity, right? And so you can, and I have to just put the disclaimer out there, you can also, when you are no longer identifying as the person who has low self-esteem or not enough, right, is not worthy, you know, sometimes you have a little dip where you kind of like fall back a little bit, take a back step, and you be like, well, I still feel like that person. I still feel like that person though. But the truth is you're not that person. And you want to honor that, okay, this feeling that I'm having, is that the truth? Because all your feelings and all our feelings are not the truth. Okay? Boom. Drop the bomb. Yeah, all your feelings are not true. And if you're honest with yourself when you're having these feelings and you're asking yourself, well, is this really true? You know, because some of y'all don't want to ask yourself because you just want to be able to have the control and all of this and manage and be in control with letting your feelings guide you versus rising above those emotions, right, into the thinking of God and looking at the truth of what's really happening. And I would even say look at the facts of what's really happening. And that is a clear distinction. That will help you have a clear distinction from this feeling. You know, feelings, whoa, feelings. I mean, they're valuable, don't get me wrong, due to the fact that when you are choosing to rise up, those feelings at high vibration frequencies are now magnets, where you are now beginning to magnetize the people, the places, the things, the circumstances that are on the same frequency, high frequency, and now y'all moving and shaking and doing some things. All right, so everything has a purpose, and you want to be able to, and I gotta say this part too. Okay, when I do my analysis, they're gonna be like, girl, you just went all off script. You just went off all the stuff you said you want to say. But no, that's not true, because I'm saying the stuff I need to say too, and I'm just adding some other stuff to it. So they're gonna be like, you did all these tangents. So, okay. But I gotta say this. Okay, when the spirit moves you, you gotta go with the flow. You gotta say what's you being told to say. So when we have these feelings that are controlling, right, that are keeping us at this frequency, right, where, you know, we don't want to look at the truth, we want to stay down here because it gets us attention, we may get what we want, right? We get to blame other people, and this is where I'm going. We get to blame other people and not have to take responsibilities for our contribution to the circumstance, the situation, or the thing that's happening that has us in our feelings, right? You cannot be a victim. You cannot be a victim when you ask for the truth of what's really going on with these feelings or the facts. You cannot be a victim. And that right there just took a whole lot of people out, because that's what we're used to being, is victims. And that no longer serves you. Okay? It no longer serves you. Because yesterday we declared that you are the peaceful creator, right? When we were talking about your peace being your doorway to your prosperity, right? So when we are in our reactive modes and when we're in this low vibration frequency, whatever that looks like, right? The depression, right? Brother Jabril told us you got 8 minutes and 20 seconds to be depressed your entire life. So you better use it wisely. May Allah be pleased with him. You know, you better use it wisely. So depression is a sign of, you know, ingratitude. I've been depressed. I didn't even realize I was depressed. It came on me like, not recently, but maybe like 3 years ago, I experienced it. And it wasn't until when I just really was sitting down, asking myself and reflecting over my life. And like, you know, was I depressed? And I was like, oh, I think I was. I really was. And it showed up different for me. You know, it really did. It showed up different for me. I didn't even realize it, you know. Because again, that has not been a reality for me. That's not been energy that's in my upbringing, that's been in my environment. You know, if you knew my mother, just so in our family, we are, you know, we some interesting characters and we fun, you know, and we're loving, you know, and we can be a trip at the same time too. But we've always been together, you know. So when I realized it, I was like, wow, okay. So it just made me even go even deeper with being able to relate to you all, right? And being able to help you at different levels, all right? And so now that we've established yesterday that you are the new creators, and we're at the 15-minute mark, this is a part of your new identity. You are the peaceful creator. You no longer allow people to just push your buttons. And this is what we was talking about, I think it was on day 2. You don't allow people to just push your buttons, because they will do it if you allow them to do it, and you just keep reacting, and it's like the same cycle over and over again. But that doesn't have to be your reality anymore. And you can declare that today. For those of you that are just tuning in, you can declare that today. That is not who you are. You know, and okay, so what? You know, if your belief has been, and we can shift this too, if your belief has been, well, if I don't respond, they're going to think I'm weak. Is that the truth? Is it? That's a question you want to answer. You know, so when you're in these feelings, I'm telling you how to, I'm helping you to be able to know how to disarm a lot of this emotional trauma stuff that we be creating. And that's what I said. We be creating. And then we want to blame other folks. It's totally a trip. It's totally a trip. It's totally a trip. I'm telling you, we are a trip. We're a trip. So you have a new identity, right? You're the peaceful creator. All right. So you identify with the person. You identify as someone who leads, and you earn your calm. You earn from calm. So that's how we are helping you to be able to see how your peace is your prosperity. You know, your peace is your prosperity. Hey, Dr. Wright, thank you. So now, type in the chat what your new identity is, just based off of, you know, what we've been saying. And even if you're not, quote unquote, there yet, you're setting the intention, and that begins the motion in action. That begins a part of the shift and the changes when you set that intention. So type in the chat what your new identity is. I am the peaceful creator. Yes, brand ambassador. Yes, Dr. Wright, you are the brand ambassador. Yes, if y'all don't know anything about Dr. Letitia Wright, you definitely are in the right place. So follow her, because if you have any services, let's see, products, this is a commercial break, products, books, and we're not doing services yet. Check out Go Shop America. Check out Go Shop America. It is the QVC for small businesses. Okay, it is the QVC for small businesses. So definitely check out Dr. Letitia Wright. Check out Dr. Letitia Wright. She's on all the platforms. She is a media personality. She's an executive producer. She's a producer. So media and crowdfunding, okay, definitely check out Dr. Letitia Wright. She is the top in her, she's one of the world's best crowdfunding experts, okay, amongst other things. All right, and so back to our regular scheduled program, because now, I'm doing really good. I am so proud of myself. So now we want to, let's anchor in that new identity. All right, this is where we're going to do our embodiment work. I had to take my shoes off. This is where we're going to do our embodiment work. All right, what you say? Okay, you are peaceful and powerful. Above the fray, fire, peaceful and powerful. Yes, 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 yes. You are peaceful and powerful. Yes. So we have our new identity. So now what I want you to be able to do is, when we talk to you about connecting in, being able to communicate with the subconscious mind, right? And knowing that the conscious mind controls 1% of everything that we experience, right? Because we tend to think that seeing is believing, and the real truth of the matter, and I want you to prove this to yourself, the power is in the unseen. That's what the power is. Okay, so power's in the unseen. I'm gonna drink some water on that. And I know I should probably have a straw. However, I don't have any organic ones. Let us now begin to anchor in, and let's show you how to communicate with the subconscious mind, right? And your body is going to thank you for it, all right? So when you do anything, you want to always set your intention, right? Drop into your heart space. Focus on your breathing. And what I want you to do now is make sure you have water, because due to the fact that when we talked about earlier, every thought that you think, it's a protein, and how you can die from dehydration, having adequate enough water, staying hydrated, of course, if you're not hydrated properly, your skin gets all dry and you become hardened, you calcify, right? And so having this water, it is, again, it's the current, it's the flow that the current moves through the body on, right? It's the water. The brain needs 85% of the water that the body uses, right? So you want to make sure you are drinking water, the elixir of life. You're drinking the elixir of life, right? And when you're in this flow with the water, right, everything is continuing to move. It's moving. And so why am I doing this? So because I want you to be able to recognize that when we are connecting in and communicating with the body, the beliefs that we hold can be measured. Okay, let me say it this way. We can test the beliefs that we have, because again, it's a frequency, right? It's a frequency, it's energy. And we can test that without being able to see the energy, because some of us can see the energy moving, some of us can't, right? For the majority of the people that can't see the energy moving, you can test these beliefs that you hold via the muscles, right? It's called kinesiology. So go and study, read up on kinesiology. So you can do muscle testing to be able to test these beliefs that you hold. And the body isn't the only way you can use this. I like it because it reconnects me. It establishes, it keeps that connection, and it heightens my connection to my body, right? When I'm acknowledging my body, when I'm waking up in the morning and I'm being in gratitude and I'm saying my 10 things that I'm grateful for every day, something different, you know. I take a body part. Sometimes I do all the body parts. I'm thankful for all the liver, the kidney, the pancreas, the urethra. You get the point, right? Being in gratitude for it. And because everything is frequency, the body resonates and responds to frequency. The organs respond to that. And so what we're going to show you is that when you stand up, stand up, and you want to make sure your toes and your feet, you know, are straight and your knees are not locked, right? And what's going to happen is we're going to establish what our truth and what's false, right? So you'll be able to know that when you are using the body to communicate what's true or what's false, and you're asking a question to check in with the subconscious mind to see, well, what's really going on? Then you'll know which way is what is your yes and what is your no. What resonates as truth, what resonates as false, right? So as you're standing up, and that's why you want to stay hydrated, because you're using the muscles as the indicator. Okay, that's going to be supporting you to be able to know if what's yes or no, right? All right, so now what I want you to simply do, all right, is I want you to just focus on your breath and just inhale and exhale. And if you are doing this exercise, just say yes out loud that you agree that you want to participate in this experience. No harm is coming to you, because I'm clear that what I do to other folks does come back, and this is only for the highest benefit of all involved. I am not creating no more karma. I done cleared up a lot of my karma on the last little leg of it. And yeah, I'm not creating no more karma. Okay, we're gonna be in dharma. We're gonna have our balance. We're gonna be, yeah, that's what we're gonna be. We're gonna be in the flow. Okay, so stand up, say yes if you give me permission to access your energy field, and it's my higher self connecting with all of y'all higher self, and the cosmic higher selves are doing the work. Your God essence, same. You don't get caught up on the terminology, all right? The God essence. Your God essence, my God essence. Communicating. Doing the work together, all right? So this exceeds religion. This is, yeah. Okay. Been there, done that. All right. Doing that, and God is definitely sufficient. All right, so now you want to stand up, drink your water, and you want to say what your name is. All right, so I'm going to say what my name is. You say what your name is, and you're going to wait for the body to give you a movement. Okay, you're going to wait for the body to indicate that that is the truth, and this means yes. That's what we're waiting on. Okay, so say what your name is. I'm going to say what my name is. All right, so my name is Felicia. Okay, so see, I've been doing this for 14 years. Mine moves pretty fast, and some of you all might move pretty fast. You might be pretty hydrated. You might be familiar with this work, so it's a couple of different things. All right, Surreal, how you doing? All right, So does everybody have their yes? Does everybody have their yes? And I tell you, my when I first did this, oh my God, when I first did it, it reminded me of when you stand up in church and you praying. I don't know if y'all have had this experience, but when I be standing up in church and I used to pray, I could feel myself swaying. And I was like, oh. That's what it reminded me of. And I was like, okay, I get it. Okay, because I never thought about it like that then, but you know, that's just what it made me think of. All right, so everybody got their yes? Indicate in the chat if you got your yes. Okay, you got your yes. Okay, you got your yes. Okay, good. All right, so now we're going to make up a name. All right, we're going to make up a name, right? And so now say what your name is. Don't say what it's not. I mean, don't say not, just make up a name. Okay, so I'm going to say my name is Carmen. Okay. Oh man, TikTok. My live go in 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna come back on. All right, so everybody got it. All right. So everybody got their yes, everybody got their no. All right, so now let's test. Okay. So I'm going to test. I am a peaceful creator. You test. What was yours? Hey, Miss Carolyn. You're peaceful and powerful. And then you test, I am an ambassador, right? So we're testing what we've already declared that we are, right? So we're going to start with that first. All right. So now let's see what our subconscious mind says about this new identity that we have, right? So now let's test. Okay, so I'm going to test mine. Okay, you test yours. And here's the other part. If it's a no, then just say yes, you want to shift it, and then you'll do your breathing. We'll support you in knowing how to shift it, okay? And then we're going to retest it to see if you get a yes. All right, so now let's test. I am a powerful creator. Yes. All right. I got mine. Who else got theirs? What you got? Did you get a yes? Tap the screen on TikTok before we go out. Did you get a yes? Oh shoot, I gotta hurry up. You got a yes? New comment. Okay, you got a yes, Miss Carolyn? Manaima, what did you get? Did you get yours, Alicia? Thank you for being here. All right. So for those of you that yours might have been a no, let's go ahead and let's support you with the shift. So now just focus, just say yes, you want to be this, you want to shift it, right? Just say yes, and then focus on your breath and do your inhale for 3, hold for 4, exhale for 6, and do that 2 more times, okay? As you are processing this shift, as this shift is occurring, okay? Do your inhale for 4. Inhale for 3, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Okay. All right, so now retest. For those of you who got to know. All right, now you want to change. Now you should have it. So test. I got a yes, so I don't need to test mine again. All right, so test. I am. One was an ambassador. One was I am peaceful prosperity. I am a peaceful creator that leads with a calm spirit of love. That was another one. So if it did not shift, then what does that mean? I'm so glad you asked. That simply means that we just need to go a little bit deeper. There's some core things. There's some things at the core, right, that are anchoring that negative thing in. All right. And so being able to know how to shift that don't require a whole lot of talking, I mean, intuitively, if I get some hits, then, I'll say what comes up and then we'll go from there. So as you have declared your new vision, right? We talked about holding the vision and making it plain, writing it, embodying it. Now you have a tool that you can use to test the various beliefs that you have. You may not know how to shift them, but just focus on your breath and try it. Not try it, do it. Focus on your breath, right? And experience the shift, right? And again, if it doesn't shift, then just reach out to me. We'll support you with being able to know how to shift it and go from there. How do you tell if it's shifted? So thank you for that question. You can tell when it's shifted. So if you had a no and your body went back, right? When you ask the question, when it shifts, now it should be a yes. Now it should be a yes. You should go forward, right? Did that help you? It should go forward. So it should go the opposite direction. If it was a no and you want it to be a yes, then when we shifted it, then now you should be going forward. Or whatever your yes was that your body gave you as an indication when we did the test. Does that make sense? All right. So when we, this work really gets really deep. I mean, so many people have had so many phenomenal experiences with shifting. And it's a lot of people out there that don't want you to know all the stuff they got going on. We are so cute. They don't want you to know all the stuff they going on. I get it. I'm telling you, I used to be so prideful. Oh my gosh. Oh, I used to be so prideful. But boy, did I have an experience that helped to get me out of that. Right? So you're a yes now. Okay, good. So saying all that to say that because you don't necessarily have to do a lot of talking, you can fill in the blank, when we're working together, if it's really sensitive and you don't, you may not want me to know, what it is. It's so many creative ways that we can support those who are very private and don't want nobody to know they shit stink, right? Excuse my French. But there's many ways that we can support you. So this Thursday, we're going to be doing a webinar where we're going to be just going through all the various beliefs. You can even submit beliefs, that no longer serve you, that you feel that's keeping you stuck, right? And you just don't know how to break through it, right? Well, come on Thursday, 7 p.m. The link is in my bio. You can register and you experience the great shifts. Yes. And you can do this in the privacy of your own home, no cameras, none of that. And we're gonna go into great detail with supporting you to know how this works and helping you be a better you. Helping you to be a better you for yourself and your family this holiday season, right? So you don't have to be triggered by a lot of the traumas and all the stuff that used to happen, right? And all the things that's happening now. You don't have to feel victimized, right? You can take back your power and really begin to embody it and walk in it. All right? So you've got your new identity. Yes, now go write down how and what this looks like for you. What does your life look like as this new person with this new identity? What does this aspect of you look like? All right? So you walked away. We've walked from boundaries to vision. We've breathed. We've rewired. And I'm asking you that if this is supporting you, drop a dove in the chat or give me some hearts. And thank you again for being on this journey with me. If you would like to gain access to the previous lives, that we have done, you'll be able to have access to that in the community. And join us on Thursday. If you want to register for the webinar on Thursday, you can again click the link in my bio and I'll post it on the social media channels. And just know that, your peace and your prosperity are the same frequency. So keep tuning yours with me. Let's keep tuning up our peace and our prosperity. All right? And transforming all the limiting beliefs, because it's not a matter of if you're going to have some limiting beliefs. It's a matter of when. And when you do, you have these tools to be able to know how to walk through it so it doesn't keep you stuck. You know how to navigate it. You know how to shift it. You know how to transform it. All right? Okay, so bliss, bliss. And aloha. Peace, peace. Alaikum. Hotel. Namaste. Ashe. Love you all. Thank you.